Hello everyone and welcome to this class. Today we will be talking about the clef. So at the end of this lesson, everyone should be able to identify the treble clef as well as the bass clef. So then, what is a clef? That's the first question we need to ask ourselves. What is a clef? A clef is simply a symbol that is placed at the beginning of a staff. A clef is a symbol that is placed at the beginning of a staff. So then, what does this clef do? A clef is used to show the notes or the pitches of the staff. In other words, a clef is used to show the notes that reside on the staff. So here we have a quick quiz, and the first one says the clef is a symbol that is placed dash. Where do we place a clef? At the beginning of a staff. The second one says a clef is used to show dash. Okay, what do we use a clef to do? It is used to show the notes that or the pitches that are on a staff. There are two common types of clefs. There are more types of clefs, but the most common ones are just two. And these clefs are, first of all, the treble clef. The treble clef is also known as the G clef, and it looks a little like this. It looks like this. The next one is the bass clef, and the bass clef is also known as the F clef, and the bass clef looks exactly just like this. To further underscore some of the things we have said, here again we have the treble clef, also known as the G clef, and this is what it looks like. Okay, I have a video here. If you'd like to watch that video, just go ahead and download this slide and you'll be able to watch that video. Okay, so this is what the treble clef looks like, and it's also known as the G clef. Here we have the bass clef, also known as the F clef. This is what it looks like. Again, there is a video that you can go ahead and watch if you so choose. So again, I have a quick quiz for us here, and this one says there are dash types of clefs. How many types? Do we have 5 types, or do we have 10 types, or do we have 20 types of clefs? How many types of clefs do we have? There are 2 types of clefs, and it's that simple. Okay, this other question says this clef is known as the dash clef. This clef right here is known as the treble clef. The second question here says it is also known as the dash clef. This symbol is also known as the G clef. Good job, well done. I have another quick question, and this one says this clef is known as the dash clef. This clef right here is known as the bass clef, and it is also known as the F clef. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the treble clef. The treble clef, also known as the G clef, tells us that the notes or the pitch on the first line of the staff is E. Of course, the notes that are written on the treble staff are played by the right hand on the piano. So as you can see, this staff right now is just empty and bare. Okay, but immediately I bring in this treble clef, you see that the first note, the pitch on that first line becomes an E. Okay, and that's exactly what a clef does. It tells us the names of the notes that are on the staff. Again, another quick quiz. The treble clef tells us the note on the first line is dash, is E. And here another question. The notes written on the treble staff are played by the dash hand on the piano. Left hand or right hand? Do we remember? The right hand, yes. So here I have another example, this time for the bass clef. Remember that the bass clef is also known as the F clef. Now the bass clef tells us that the notes or the pitch on the first line of the staff is G. Okay? The notes written on the bass staff are played by the left hand on the piano. So again, we have this empty staff here. And once we bring in that bass clef, you see that the first line is now G. It's not an E anymore like we had with the treble staff, but right now it's a G. And again, that's exactly what a clef does. It tells us the names of the notes that are on a staff. Quick quiz. The bass clef tells us that the first note on the first line is G. And the notes written on the bass staff are played by the dash hand on the piano. Is it the left hand or the right hand? The left hand. Good job, well done. So in summary today, we have been able to take a look at the clef. We said the clef is a symbol that is placed at the beginning of a staff, and that the clef is used to show the pitches on a staff. Okay, we said there are two types of clefs. The first one is the treble clef, and the second one is the bass clef. We said the first note on the first line of the treble clef is E, while for the first line of the bass clef it is a G. And we said for the treble clef, all the notes that you have on it will be played using the right hand on the piano. For the bass clef, all the notes on the bass written on it with the bass clef will be played using the left hand on the piano. So I hope you enjoyed this class. See you on the next one. Bye everyone.